It is about truth and freedom. It's about simplicity and complexity. It's about reasonableness. It's about the loss of ego. It's about a simple reality of how do we be the they. And it really helps when you have short ways of saying things that have deep meaning. And it's going to be the they until it's not. And what we've been talking about that means is how do we go, each of us, and influence others within our company, within our family, for the world. Like think about this for a second. One of the people on the trip while we were there got text messages, got social media attacks from somebody who was a funding source for him that said, called him names, cursed at him, and said he was a pawn of a propaganda-filled bunch of BS from the left, and this wasn't even really a war. What was he doing? He should be here helping people in the United States, not being there. What a fool he is, and just ripping him and attacking him. That is fundamentally the challenge I believe we face in the world. And the challenge isn't that we shouldn't question things. We should always question things. But I guess the two questions that most come up for me first are, how do we question things? How do we question things? With what level of respect, wisdom, knowledge? Second, before we start questioning what somebody else is doing, how much are we looking at what we're doing or not doing? Before we start questioning what other people are doing, how much do we question what we're doing? How are we doing with our process mastery challenge and building our platforms? How are we doing in terms of driving our own freedom, our own financial abundance, our time freedom? How intentional are we about how much time we spend in contribution versus business building? How able are we to get sucked up into some drama, some chaos, some fiction or real thing, but that takes us away from as an escape from doing the things? These are all questions I ask myself. I asked myself that question when I said yes to go. I asked myself that question on the flight over. I asked myself that question every single day during the progression, because when we examine our own lives, our own process, self and influence mastery consistently, not like beating ourselves up, when we examine it, we rise in our mastery. We have more of a capacity to bring about the results and outcomes we want. We can make more intentional decisions. And I've learned so much about Lever 6. In the past 2 years, I've raised millions of dollars for charity. I look back, and in some of these situations, I feel really frustrated. I've shared some of the things about my frustration in trusting too much in teammates and in not having the outcomes that I had hoped or desired or might perceive we agreed on. And the same thing comes up for me with some charitable dynamics. And I look at different situations, and I am present to the fact that because there's a beautiful cause, it doesn't mean the people behind the beautiful cause are actually doing anything to solve the problem. And that sometimes people have the best of intentions and horrible process influence and self-mastery. And sometimes people's intentions are just to serve their own self-interest, their own political agendas, and not to actually bring about the outcome that they profess. And so what's the point on this Trajectory Tuesday? It's to respect and honor and love yourself, and to challenge yourself. Clean up our own kitchen, our own home. And I don't mean, by the way, to use it as a dopamine distraction, like cleaning your office or your desk instead of getting the things done. What I mean by house cleaning is to look at our 7 levers, our life, our things. Say, man, the world needs me. The world needs us. The world needs you. Your town needs you. Your family needs you. Your state, the nation, and the world all need you. And maybe you not do things to serve the world. Maybe you will, right? But you are needed.